back. It's still AM today on Osrc television. Like I mentioned before we went on that break, we're taking a look at something quite important in the health sector, and it's about neglected tropical diseases. The World Health Organization reports on neglected tropical diseases shows that Nigeria and 15 other countries have the highest burden of diseases in that category of being neglected. And of course, the Minister of Health, Osrc, says 25% of all NTDs, those are neglected tropical diseases in Africa, is right here with us in Nigeria, with millions of persons at risk. This morning we'll get further insight to whether we have a mechanism in place to, ensure that these diseases that have been neglected, get to fade out, or perhaps also get more insight as to some of the causes or reasons why we have them as neglected. We are being joined on the program today by the NTD's program coordinator right here in Ondo State, Mrs. Olanike Oladipupo. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on the program.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
It's good to have you again for us to take another look at neglected tropical diseases. And again, perhaps just to drive home this point, what exactly would you see at neglected tropical diseases? Why do they have that need of being neglected?
Thank you so much. Firstly, I will welcome everyone to this program, because this is a window of opportunity for me to let our people in the state and the LNTDs and the communities to know that Ondo State, under the leadership of the Honorable Commissioner for Health and the Permanent Secretary, Mrs. Aladin Olafoluke, they adopted the national template on NTD program in the state. So I'm happy to be here, and conventionally, NTD program is domesticated at Federal Ministry of Health in the Department of Public Health. And to work in line with that, right now, NTD program is domiciled at Ondo State Ministry of Health for proper coordination, supervision, and to perform the oversight function on how to control, eliminate, and eradicate NTD diseases in our society. Thank you so much.
We'll take a look at that template that you say obviously that's adopted much later in the course of our conversation, but for some who are still struggling to understand why we see some diseases are neglected, tell us what are some of those diseases that are neglected and why do they seem to be common here? Because just like the Minister of Health says, 25% in Africa is right here with us in Nigeria.
Yes, you are very right. Thank you so much. These diseases are called neglected tropical diseases because people pay less attention to them in the society, and they are group of diseases that are caused by parasitic and bacteria agents that affect over 1 billion of the world population, especially the poor area where people did not have access to clean water and for proper handling of their waste. So these diseases are so common in such area where people pay less attention to their health issues. So that is why they are called neglected. Unlike other diseases like malaria, HIV. But right now, people are aware about these diseases called neglected tropical diseases because of the impact on our health.
Now, what's the government's impact on the prevention of these neglected tropical diseases?
Yeah, the state government is working adequately to collaborate with other line ministries to ensure we eradicate NTD in Ondo State. Firstly, Ondo State is working with the Ministry of Water Resources to ensure people have access to safe water, because some of these NTD diseases are water-based infection. For example, when we talk about schistosomiasis, is water-based infection, whereby some people have access to where people did not have access to clean water, but they will make use of the available one within their community, that stream, or unprotected water. So from there, people can contact infection. And at the same time, the government is working along with SUPEP, Ministry of Education, and the Ministry of Environment and Waste Management. So all these ministries, they were working in line with Ministry of Health to ensure our people are safe of all these neglected tropical diseases.
Now, what are the means of controlling and managing the NTDs?
Thank you. When we talk about controlling and management of NTDs, is still talking basically on the preventive measures. So when we talk about that, we are still referring to WASH. When I talk about WASH, is another component that deal with prevention of NTDs, whereby there is provision of safe water, then proper hygiene, and proper sanitation. So that WASH, it's composed of three things that I've just mentioned. So when we are able to tackle this infection with these three interventions under this WASH, and at the same time there is a large scale delivery of single dose preventive chemotherapy that is usually done during MAM activities. So what I mean about MAM is that mass administration of medicine to the populace in order to prevent this disease. And when we are preventing, I'm telling you categorically that we are managing at the same time, because we are using that single dose to prevent and to treat.
Now, in Ondo State, what are the common NTDs we have, and what effort has the government been putting in place to either completely eradicate it or provide proper treatment for people involved?
Thank you so much. Basically, we have 4 predominant NTDs in Ondo State, namely onchocerciasis, which is otherwise known as the river blindness. So, and this one is caused by black flies, and we have these black flies where we have water, the stream, all those areas. So it serves as a breeding space for them to multiply and to go into the community to bite us. Then we have this schistosomiasis, which is also known as passing of bloody urine. In Yoruba, they call it atosi eleje. I think you understand what I mean about that. Then we also have filariasis, which is otherwise known as elephantiasis. So, of which someone might have either the upper extremity swelling or the lower extremity swelling. So, because the disease affects the lymphatic system, so thereby restricting the body for normal venous drainage. And at the same time, we have soil transmitted emites, so which is otherwise known as worm infestation, which is so common among the school age. And we also have another intervention to deal with that. to ensure all these school-age children have access to deworming tablets, which is usually done as an interval. So those are the 4 basic entities we have in Ondo State. And how to control them is simply the way I talked about it the other time. That is administration of the single dose preventive chemotherapy. So when everyone have access to have this medicine during MAM activity, I assure you we are well protected.
Now, I'm concerned about the filariasis.
Yes.
Now, because of the areas it affects most of the time, people don't believe it's a health challenge. If you look around, you see many people that have it. I think it's the commonest one around.
Yes.
Now, people that have it will always say no, that they stepped on jazz. Or something, I don't know. They'll say no, that somebody planted something for them, then the moment they stepped on it, their leg becomes swollen and all. Now, what effort are you putting in place to sensitize the populace? Because you will find out that most people that have had it, along the line they die, because they would not take the proper care, only believing in, oh, somebody wants to kill me, so I have to do it the
or maybe
other way.
Switchcraft or
yes. So what efforts what's the sensitization level? Where are we on that now?
Thank you. The sensitization level is at high level because periodically the state government and the partner working along with NTD program in the state, the UNICEF and the Mitosat, they are working seriously on to intensify more efforts on sensitization, and this is an ongoing thing. Recently we had a survey on NTDs. This group, they came from the federal, that is the FUTO, from the Federal University of Owerri. They were the one that came to do the pilot survey in Ondo State, which involves 5 local governments: Ifedore, Irele, Osrc, Akoko Southwest, and Akoko Southwest. So those local governments, they benefited a lot through that survey because it's an image source mobility surveillance, of which, and before the survey, we first of all embarked on high powerful advocacy and sensitization to those 5 local governments, so that they will be aware that these diseases are living with us. They are not caused by witchcraft, they are not caused by anything, but we can have intervention and breakthrough when we adopt the proper channel of addressing it. That is by taking this medicine and strictly adherence to all these preventive measures, that is safe water, hygiene, and proper management of any disabilities. So for filariasis, as you said, I will talk more about it. I've had someone that said they put juju on the floor, that she stepped on it and she noticed that when this and that happened. I said, fine and good, but I'm assuring you, either they put something on the floor, you press on it, but when you go on this medication, this swollen leg will be restricted. The level of the swelling will not be going like that, so it will be restricted, and we teach those people basically how to maintain such diseases, right from the cleaning and what they should do and what they should not do, in order not to aggravate the swelling.
All right. I would ask from where you stopped, because I'm interested in know, when such person starts the medication, do they get to recover to their normal state after having been infected?
Thank you
Is
so
there a
much.
chance, is there a possibility for all of those neglected tropical diseases that
Yes, yes. Neglected tropical diseases are diseases that are preventable. Even some are preventable without the use of vaccine
are
or any
treatable also?
medicine. They are treatable as well without the use of vaccine. Okay, let's take for instance now. I talked earlier about schistosomiasis. You know, it's very hard for someone who did not have contact with bad water or swimming in the stream to have it. Once you don't go into the stream and you don't have contact with bad water, there's no way you can have it.
So it's not
Because
communicable from one person to another. Is that what you're saying?
it's communicable. But when you don't go in contact with the causative agent, you are safe from it. But the best is whenever there is mass administration of medicine, it's good to take it just to be at safer side. You are saving yourself, and when you take it, you are saving others as well.
So I wouldn't know if that's why I'm asking because I do not know.
Yeah.
The result or the outcome of that survey that was conducted across all of these local governments
Yes.
you listed, is it
Yes.
out? What did we find out?
Thank you so much. Because I talked about photo the other time,
Yes.
that is image source mobility surveillance, hotspot surveillance. So it's like a kind of do it yourself. What the survey is all about is once a person notices a particular lesion or a particular difference in the normal state of the body, it's just a matter of taking a picture of that site, you send it to a noted number which had been placed on the board or on the handbills to those communities, because the program will soon be scaled out to other local governments so that everybody will be on the same page.
Mr. Oladupo, how easy would that be? Because I understand that the world is going global and digital and you want to do all of these things, but this kind of disease that we're talking about is rooted in the grassroots, in
Yes.
communities that
Based.
perhaps you don't even have access to internet facilities or even telecommunication services and all of that. So when it is a do-it-yourself thing, how can those kind of people get to push this out?
Okay. I can say is a very simple thing, because we also thought as much about it. That is the reason why the program brought a person from the community
Okay.
during the sensitization program and advocacy. So we requested for the community, from the community, to provide to us community contact person. This community contact person was saddled with the responsibility for those people that have difficulty in taking these images or the pictures and to send to the WhatsApp. You know, some are illiterate. They don't know how to do all these things. And this community contact person will be the one to come and do it for them, so that they will be able to have access for analysis and for proper diagnosis at the federal level. Because the Federal Ministry of Health also have people who are there to analyze and to diagnose, to really know that, wow, this is one of the NTD cases.
All right, Mr. Oladupo, we're totally out of time, but we'll close with this question. What's the response? Because I understand now we have, perhaps a unit coordinating entities in Ondo State. What's the response mechanism like for anybody who notices all of these things, or someone who has perhaps some of the symptoms? What's the response like? Is it go to the nearest hospital or visit your center?
Thank you. So the preaching has ever been the same. Once you notice anything different from what your body should be, or you are experiencing some certain things. Maybe some people are saying, after birth, I used to experience some tingling sensation or all these things, you know. Some will even say, maybe somebody used their sponge, maybe it's the reason why they're having such feelings, which is basically schistosomiasis, onchocerciasis, you know. And it can also cause river blindness. Okay. So all those things we used to tell them. Once you notice anything from normal, just report at the nearest health facilities, because we have all these LNTDs there. That is the local government NTD officers. They are the one to look into what will be for that person, and they've already had a guidelines for the treatment and all other necessary management.
How many persons are on your treatment list at this time in Ondo State? Do we have a figure to that?
Basically, we used to capture our treatment list from the Mass Administration of Medicine.
Okay.
So we have everybody in the state, at least more than 80% of the populace in Ondo State was treated in the last Mass Administration of Medicine.
When is the next one?
It's coming up very soon.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Olanike Oladipupo, Program Coordinator of Neglected Tropical Diseases right here in Ondo State. And she's told us about entities, management and control, and perhaps also things you need to do. Thank you so much, ma'am, for coming on the program.
Thank you so much.
We'll take a break now. When we come back, another issue will be served for you. Please stay.